Let's go to needs a name, because I don't have a name. Oh, look, he's not working. Looks like everybody else around him is. How odd. And I need just a minute here. This is actually a good farm for an example. I had forgotten about this. I was trying to unlock trees. So this farm, I did my best not to duplicate any patterns in the farmhand blocks. And as far as, how my animals were laid out. But I also wanted to make sure that they always had something to do. So they've all got flowers because this farm is kind of poor. It's still lower level. It needs more money. Originally it was a diamond farm, so I have no shortage of diamonds, as you may have noticed. But a definite shortage of funds for a farm this size. But for diamond farming, I just started adding these things every chance I could. The clovers, the rubber trees, the haunted trees, money trees. And my farmhands can actually cover this entire square when I put them all in. Right now I have them blocked off because I don't need diamonds, so I just put these to remind me where they go. Because the way they go, I had to count this out to make sure that every single square was covered. But yeah, that's how I did a diamond farm, and that got me over 100,000 diamonds really quickly. It was at the end, after I got everything planted, it was giving me like 10K an hour, and I was like, really? That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I stopped it. Might have gone a little overboard on it and spent all my ribbons on it. This farm may quite possibly end up getting recycled at some point because I am still not happy with it. Um, That's fine. I'm just talking about diamond farming, and this farm was recently recycled and rebuilt, and I was looking for ways to generate diamonds really quickly, and I found it in this farm, but I had to dedicate myself to just that for a while. It was pretty much no more questing, no more anything. I recycled, got all my ribbons back, and then put down this huge square of trees, which as soon as I finish planting this chard, I will show the square. Now, some of these options aren't going to be available, right off the bat for newer players. Obviously, Farmhand is one of them. The haunted trees may not be an option for people because, that was an event item. The money trees will at a later point, and the rubber trees will once they're higher level. Well, the main thing you need to remember on farms like that, the default, the steep, and things like that, make use of your decoration. Try to decorate more with things that give you money than things that just look cool. So, like, I decorate with flowers because they give me money. And I occasionally put things like this in there just to break up patterns, but mostly I decorate with flowers and trees and occasionally animals. White bunnies are my favorite. But yeah, this farm and the square. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 used to have all the farmhands that are up in the top right corner, linking up all the way around that square, and they covered literally every single square. And this farm just sat here with a square and nothing else for a couple of weeks, just generating diamonds. And I'd AFK here for a few hours a day, and then go back on my main farms because I didn't have enough diamonds to do the roads and the decorative patterns that I wanted to. And you can do this with anything. You can do this with a default farm or whatever. You can set the trees up with your farmhands to generate a bunch of diamonds and money for you, and then you can either recycle or you can move or just keep going with it. But the same thing applies on a flat farm as it does on a regular. Make the most of your farmhands. Give them something to do. Make sure they're always doing something. So this guy here, he's harvesting trees and he's able to fish. And these guys over here are doing my quest animals, and they're able to fish from 2 different ponds. And as you can see, this is a theme. All of them are able to touch the fish ponds, so all my fish are continually being fished. And this guy is generating passive coins every hour with a 1-hour flower, as is this one. And they're watering the flowers, so the value of them is a bit higher. But yeah, there's some busy guys. And at this point on this farm, I'm comfortable letting them continuously feed, and they're not going to drive me broke. I have had farms that went broke because of the farmhands feeding animals, so that's something you want to be really careful with in the beginning. And try the method that I suggested, which is them only being able to reach one of the animals in your group so they can feed them. But once they've fed that one, they can't harvest or anything else until you're ready to harvest them. This farm was a bit of a challenge in not repeating pattern. But I think I achieved it. I don't think any of the farmhand blocks have the same exact pattern in them. Also, still don't have a name for this farm. I just have no clue. Nothing's coming to mind. Dear God, what? No, that's not the name of the farm, Lonkley. And good morning, Lonkley. You guys didn't know, he is also a friend of mine who plays Farm Together, and he's also a streamer. He streams multiple things. So check out his channel and give him a follow. He usually streams late at night for me. So for Eastern time, it's about 2 a.m., I think, Pacific, 11 p.m., is that right? An Illuminati poker table? Seriously? I wouldn't even know how to name something. With that in mind. Somebody here has not been paid. Who is it? Is it you? Twirly Farm? Well, this farm came into being because of a shoelace pattern that I have been wanting to use on something for several weeks now. I came up with it on one of my test farms, and Lonkley said they look like shoelaces. And so ever since then, I've been wanting to find some kind of way to incorporate those in my farms, but I couldn't. So I had to build a whole new farm. But as you can see, the shoelaces, they go out from the center, and they're pretty much everywhere except for in the town, which my town, against everything that I normally do, is very industrial. Which is why I said it's entirely possible that I'll pull a trigger on recycle on this farm at some point. I don't know. Unless I come up with a name and it sticks, and people seem to adjust to it. Right now I get a lot of people who get confused with the overlap and underlap of the blocks, because they'll be running around harvesting in a they'll be running around harvesting in a straight line, and then they'll run into one of the overlaps and they get confused. They don't know what to do, so they just map out to a different spot. Oh, look, there's Erin. That's my daughter. She also plays Farm Together. But yeah, this farm confuses people. And while I understand what I did and why I did it, some people don't, and they have trouble with it. Where is this guy? Is it him? Yeah, it would be over here where all the trees are not getting harvested. This is still quite a bit of diamonds every hour being harvested, by the way, with just these 4. It did. It took several days. It actually took longer than days, because I had to generate the income before I did the design. Also found this cute little idea for pumpkin patch. I don't actually remember where I saw this. But somebody was using pumpkins as lighting, and they were just putting the backs of them out, so their little faces are, turned away. And there's two sides to the farm layout where you can put your fencing up against the wall. So I put fencing all along the edge of my pumpkin patch. No, my days are more like 48 hours. But yeah, this looks really cute at night, having the little pumpkin patch lit up by pumpkins. And because they're turned outward, they're lit up, but you don't see the pumpkin teeth, so it's not just a Halloween thing. My daughter is a big fan of pumpkin carving. She does some scary things with them. All laced up. I like that. Let's go out in photo mode. By the way, guys, I was looking at my chat this morning, last night. Somebody actually said in my chat, "Yeah, you got to be botting. Nobody has this much patience." My first thought was, yeah, you don't know me very well. I have more patience than there is time. I was kind of unsure about this area and having these arches all around it, but I kind of like it. I don't know why. It's weird, but I like it. Also, quite accidentally, where is it? Is it 14? Or is it 13? Or is it 15? I don't remember. Let's try 13. Oh, it works here too. It's actually an optical illusion. The house is not in the middle of the road. The middle of the road is over here. Here, actually. But the way it looks, the way it's lined up, it kind of looks like it is, and it was a total accident. I was going for, more of a not entirely symmetrical pattern, and this is what I came up with. But it looks really good with the pagoda house, if I can remember where I put the pagoda house. Yeah, here it is. Alright, let's run away. But as you can see, not in the middle, but it gives the illusion of being in the middle when you're walking down the road. It's kind of cool. I was really happy with that. But yeah, it's like this right here. This drives people crazy because they're trying to harvest flowers and then they come to this garden. I should really mess them up and put benches here, huh? So yeah, that's Let's name this farm. All laced up, huh?